Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, we'll be seeing about the most basic concept in Java, which is the primitive data types. Without wasting any time, let's get started. So, before knowing what primitive data types are, let's see what is data type. Data type in Java or in any other programming language specifies how memory stores the value of the variable. Each variable has its own data type that decides the value of variable which they hold. Moreover, the primitive data type which we'll be seeing also used with function to define the return type. Now let's see the types of data type. We have two different type of data types, which are the primitive and non-primitive. In primitive, as you can see, there are 8 different types. And in non-primitives, we have array, class, interfacer, string, enum, etc. Now, let's talk about primitive data type. Primitive data types specify the size and type of variable values. They are the building block manipulation and cannot be further divided into simpler data types. We have totally 8 different type of primitive data types. From the Boolean, we have Boolean data type. For the characters, we have char data type. For integer, we have byte, short, int, and long. And for the float values, we have float and double data type. Let's know more about these data types, starting from the Boolean values. That is the Boolean data type. The Boolean data type can store either true or false value. They are basically used to check whether our value is equal or not. And here we use conditional statements which returns true or false values. Typically, the programmers use this as a flag variable to track the conditions which are true or false. The Boolean value which we use as a default is the false one. And moreover, the Boolean data type size depends on Java virtual machine, which means that it fluctuates depending on the different platforms. Let's see an example of this. As you can see, I've already written the program over here. And here I've used the Boolean data type and also the if condition to check whether the condition is true or false. Most probably the answer should be Boolean value is true since I've given the variable as true. Let's see the output. Yes. The answer was true. Now let's try it for false. And then see what the result. So Boolean value was false since in the else condition I gave it as false and it was not matching the condition. Now let's talk about the character type. Type stores a single character and it stores both lower and uppercase characters, and which must be enclosed by single quotes. The character data type in the Java Unicode the characters and also provides the provision to multiple languages like English, German, French, or any language. And it also takes memory space of 2 bytes or 16 bits, and the values that can be stored around this character type are 0 to 65,536. Now, let's move on to see its example. Let's execute this and see how it works. So here I've used the character data types and given the value as A and D and asked them to print this data type. Let's print them. Let's run and see. You should get the answer as A and D. As you can see, the output came out as A and D. Now let's try to change the input given integer data type and Okay. Now let's run them. As you can see, we got an error over here because 8 is not an character type. Now let's talk about the integer type. An integer type stores an integer number with no fraction or any decimal places. For the decimal places, we have another data type. So right now we are just talking about the integer type data, and it has four different types, which are the byte, short, int, and long. Let's talk about each one of them. The byte is the smallest data type among all the integer data types, which is it has 8-bit sign to complement integer. It stores only the whole number ranging between minus 128 to 127. Here is an example of its, and here is the syntax. Now moving on to the short. Short is an 16-bit sign to 2's complement integer, and it stores whole number with value ranging from minus 32,768 to 32,767. It gives out the default value as 0. Syntax is given here, which is, you can see, I use the short variable. This is the variable name. Then again short. Now let's see about the int data type, which is commonly used in most of the languages. This int data type is a 32-bit signed to complement integer, which store integer value ranging from almost minus 2 to the power 31 to 2 to the power 31, which is a wide range, and its default value is also 0, like the short, and its default value is 0, like the short, and its syntax is given here. You just need to add the in data type name. Now moving on to the long, which is the longest integer data type. Long is a 64-bit signed 2's complement data type, which is the largest data type, when it stores the values ranging from minus 2 to the power 2 to the power 63 to 2 to the power 63. And it is used when we need a range of values more than those provided by the data type. And its default value is 0L. This data type ends with L or I. And here is the sentence. We use the long data type name. Let's see an example for each one of them. Here I have mentioned all the four. Let's execute and see it in the compiler. So let's try executing this program. As you can see, I've used all the four data types of integer, and here are the values. Okay, wow. Moving on to the data types which come under the decimals, which is float. It is a floating point data type that stores the value, which includes decimal precisions, and it is not used for precise data such as currency or research data. The float value is a single precision with 32 bit or 4 bytes, and the floating point can have 7-digit decimal precisions. And this data type ends with a small uppercase f or a lowercase f, and the default value is 0.0f. And the syntax here is given. We use the float data type variable and name. Let's see example. Now let's execute this large program where we have used both float and double data types. You can see we got the values. Thank you so much for watching my video, and please subscribe for more contents. Thank you.